Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we are taking a peep at the new Amazoness support revealed for the next Duelist pack, Duelist of Pyroxene. We've gotten the wind-based Duelist pack. Technically we got the dark one as well prior to that, but then we got the water one coming up in the TCG. The OCG already has it, and now they're working on revealing those for the Earth. And this is the first reveals we have. We didn't know anything really about this other than it was going to be Earth-based. We see Amazoness is the first confirmed archetype, as well as the fact that I believe his name is Leo in the anime. He plays Morphtronics and uses a Power Tool Dragon, actually a solid monster that fairly recently saw play in Infernoble Knights as a competitive card, so really cool. But today, let's roll through the Amazoness stuff. I think we have 6 cards, which does mean that we could potentially see a 7th card revealed later on for Amazoness, but we'll obviously see when we get there. Okay, so starting off here, let's just get into it with our fusion monsters. Of course, this, I guess, technically is a fusion deck, but this is Amazoness Kaiserine, right? Cool artwork on her, of course, as always. I'm always a big fan of the Amazon stuff. Amazoness, like, before we get into this, if you don't know much about Amazoness, they have a really cool core. They've got like a Stratos monster. Baby Tiger's a really like solid every turn extender. You've got stuff like the quick play spell that searches you stuff, and the continuous trap that gives you like really strong like battle phase pressure at all times and removal, which is really cool. So it has a nice little core, but we definitely need to round the archetype out a little more. Let's see how we do here. So this is Kaiserine. Back to her. Earth Warrior, like always. Fusion, level 10. 3200 attack, 2800 defense, so pretty big. It takes 1 Amazoness fusion plus an Amazoness monster, so you already have to connect to a fusion to get to this. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon 1 Amazoness monster from your deck. Okay, that's already like not terrible for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't used the Stratos yet, you could summon the Stratos just to get her to search. If you didn't go through Baby Tiger, you get him in rotation, or something like Queen, which just gives you battle protection, which is, you know, kind of what the deck does, but not bad. Okay. Second effect says says your opponent cannot target other Amazoness monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So she does kind of draw everything towards herself. Unfortunately, I'd almost rather her just be untargetable or indestructible rather than protecting everything else, but okay, I mean, it's like a bonus effect. And the third effect, this card fusion summoned using Amazoness Queen or Amazoness Empress as material can make a second attack during each battle phase. Again, like kind of fine, not amazing, but it's sure, like it's fine. Yeah, overall okay. I mean, unless we have an insane fusion that lets us just get this out super easily, I'm not overly impressed so far. The first effect is great, right? Just, you know, tour guide. But the other 2 effects are definitely underwhelming to me. All right, next up here we have Amazoness King Liger. I love the artwork here. For sure, I love it. I'd be cool if they wanted to expand even more on like the pets, for sure. But yeah, I mean, really cool. So here we go. This is an Earth Beast monster, level 9, 2928 for the stats. It requires 1 level 5 or higher Amazoness plus another Amazoness. So a little bit easier to make. You don't have to make this with another fusion, so you can just use like Amazoness Queen for it. Let's see. You can only use the second effect once per turn. The first effect reads, monsters your opponent controls cannot attack monsters except this one. Okay. So just kind of like protection. I guess if you have these 2 on the board, it's kind of annoying. Sort of. Not even really. Their protection isn't even that good, even doubled up like that. Second effect says you can target 1 Amazoness card you control and 1 Warrior Amazoness monster in your graveyard. Destroy the first target, and if you do, special summon the second target from your graveyard. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. That's okay. I mean, if you're making this, you probably already have like a decent Amazoness monster in the grave, so being able to like kind of just swap himself out for something could be decent, for sure. So that's not horrible. Definitely not the worst thing in the world, but also just not impactful enough. I mean, the deck doesn't really have a win condition. That's the main thing I'm looking for here. It's just like a straight up downright win condition, and neither of these monsters are really giving you a strong 2022 win condition. All right, let's keep it moving. Next up here is Amazoness Shaman, a level 2 Earth Warrior effect monster, 800 attack, 1800 defense, 2 hard once return effects. The first one reads, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Amazoness card you control except for Shaman. You can add special summon monsters from the extra deck for this turn except for Amazoness. Return the targeted card to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. The second effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can add one Polymerization from your deck to your hand. Ooh. I mean, I guess it's not the... I mean, it's a straight up plus, right? Like, I love that this, like, bounces the monster to your hand instead of tributing it, so you're not, like, having to, like, lose a monster on field. You're still maintaining that advantage back in the hand. I was kind of just hoping they'd steer away from Polymerization a little bit, because it's just 2022. You can't just... Poly's not good enough unless it's an archetype like Prank Kids that just have such a busted mechanic inherently that the Poly ends up being super plus anyway. Okay, not a bad card, I would say, overall, though. Definitely not a bad card, for sure. All right, next here we have a... Oh my god, we have a Pendulum? This is Amazoness Golden Whipmaster. Okay, her design is cool. Also, she is cool, too. Level 5 Earth Warrior Pendulum effect monster, 2000 attack, 1200 defense, 1 scale, so it is a low scale. You can only use the second effect, Pendulum effect, once per turn. Amazoness monsters you control gain attack equal to their level times 100. Okay, I mean, that's just a nice little buff. This is a battle phase oriented deck. I'll take that. And the second effect, when an attack is declared involving your Amazoness monster, you could target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Also not horrible. I know it's still battle phase oriented, but like getting just like a pop for free just by like declaring an attack is pretty sweet. Could have been worse. Okay, monster effects. You can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name, one each per turn. First effect, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place it in the Pendulum zone. It's fine. Second effect, if an Amazoness monster or monsters is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone. So I guess this card does have like particular synergy with like Shaman, just Shaman being able to, because it can target, yeah, it can target any Amazoness card. So you can even target this in scale, special summon her, and then still add this back to hand, which is pretty cool. You know, that's some good synergy there, I would say. But this card still doesn't like do enough. It's not bad if the whole deck was like Pendulum based, and this card being able to give you back removal and reload itself was like actually great because your whole deck is doing the Pendulum thing, but I'm not sure this does enough for a deck that isn't even a Pendulum deck. And of course we have a second one. Can't just have one Pendulum monster. So this is Amazoness Silver Sword Master. Also looks sick. I've always loved Amazoness artwork. Always looks really good. Level 3 Earth Warrior. This is a Rota target. 1200 attack, 2000 defense, high scale, of course. Level 7. Scale 7. You can only use the second Pendulum effect of this once per turn. Amazoness monsters you control gain attack equal to their level times 100. So I guess if you have both in scale, they actually get pretty big, pretty quick. Even a level 3, your princess, I think she's 1200, will be 1800. Not terrible. When an attack is declared involving your Amazoness monster, you can target an Amazoness spell or trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's a little bit good as well, just getting that recursion. But it is battle phase reliant, but that's still straight up +1 every time you're using it, which is pretty cool. And for its monster effects, I'm assuming they're pretty much the same. If this card is destroyed while in the monster zone, you can place it in your Pendulum zone. And if an Amazoness monster or monsters are special summoned to your field while this card's in the grave, place it in your Pendulum zone. So again, just reloads itself, gets itself into scale, helps you with the protection, gives you the buff, and gets you the ability to add back an Amazoness spell or trap. It's fine. I think both the Pendulums are fine. Honestly, the best card so far is still just this girl. Nothing else. And it looks like the last card we have here is a quick play spell called Amazoness Secret Technique. This is a quick play. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn and only once that turn. So it's 2 effects. You can only pick one to use per turn, but not both. Fusion summon one Amazoness fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Once, if you would fusion summon an Amazoness fusion monster this turn, you can also send one Amazoness monster from your extra deck to the graveyard as material. It's fine. I guess it's nice that, like I was saying up above, like, oh, Like, why doesn't the deck have like its own fusion spell? They do get a fusion spell here, but it's not really special at all. And because you can only use one of its 2 effects per turn, it means I can't use the first effect and use the second effect in the same turn. So we're either just doing a normal fusion summon, or we're just like trying to make the materials a little more bearable. I don't know. Like, it just kind of seems like they could have made this so much better. And they went weird. They went into the pendulum stuff. Let's see. This is 36, 31, 30, 33, 35, 34. Okay, so I don't think there's a 32 here. So there should be one more main deck monster. Yeah, because you had 30, 31, 33. Yeah, and you just jumped to 33. So there should be one more main deck monster. We'll see if it saves the deck in any way, but we still didn't get anything that really, like, the deck needed, which was an interruption, pretty much. Like, the deck has a consistent, solid engine. They just don't have any payoff for it, and I don't think either of these fusion monsters are quite good enough to really give you solid payoff, and maybe the fusion will come up, because, like, the fusions aren't complete garbage, but they're just not win conditions. Like, one of them summons another Amazonas from deck, but that's not really doing much for you. So just kind of weird, but we'll see. Still got probably one more card. Hopefully it saves the day, but honestly pretty disappointed. And I've been talking about Amazonas. It's cool that we're getting support, but what's the point of support if it doesn't actually end up being like good in any way? So yeah, that's pretty much it for me here. Obviously, stay tuned for when the final card gets revealed for Amazonas, as well as when we get Leo's Morphtronic support revealed. And there's obviously one more archetype. Let's pray that it's Magnet Warriors. I think that would be the sickest thing ever. We'll see. I mean, we got Amazonas and Morphtronic. A lot of people told me Amazonas wasn't going to be in there because it was already been in a Legendary Duelist and stuff, but it's here. So yeah, let's just... let's do it. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the new Amazonas stuff. I know I'm kind of bashing it a little hard, but this is a deck that's had like a really solid core of engine cards, and they just didn't really have anywhere to go with it. And honestly, they didn't get it here. Definitely not, in my opinion. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts down below, and subscribe if you haven't. Peace.